So friends, in a new court filing, Special Counsel Jack Smith punches back at Donald Trump's incessant lies. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, Donald Trump lies incessantly in the court of public opinion. Prosecutors generally don't respond. Prosecutors speak through their indictments, through their court filings, their legal briefs, their motions, and of course, prosecutors speak in open court during pretrial hearings, during trials, and in the event of conviction at sentencing hearings. Well, Special Counsel Jack Smith just opted to speak in a court filing about Donald Trump's endless stream of lies. His lies about the classified documents he stole and unlawfully retained at Mar-a-Lago, indeed obstructing justice in the process, because government official after government official from multiple agencies tried to convince Donald Trump to return what wasn't his. And those government officials doing their job, hardworking, honorable, honest, ethical public servants, have been the subject of Donald Trump's vicious, vile, and dangerous lies ever since. And Jack Smith decided it's time to set the record straight in a court filing. So friends, as we often do, let's start with the new reporting, and then I want to read just some of Special Counsel Jack Smith's new court filing in Donald Trump's federal prosecution down in Florida. But let's start with the new reporting from Politico. Headline: Special Counsel mounts forceful and unusual defense of Trump classified documents case. And that article begins: Special Counsel Jack Smith used a routine legal filing Friday to offer a forceful public rebuttal against Donald Trump's claims that his criminal prosecution for allegedly hoarding classified documents has been infected by politics and legal impropriety. The 68-page document began with what Smith's team described as an effort to correct false assertions the former president had made about the nature of the case against him. What followed was a lengthy recitation of the events that led prosecutors to suspect Trump had been squirreling reams of classified records at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Rather than the bloodthirsty partisan endeavor Trump describes, prosecutors say federal officials from the National Archives, the intelligence community, and White House counsel's office took measures and incremental steps to retrieve the documents, often in coordination with some of Trump's own designated advisors, before escalating the matter as the former president continued to resist. The approach taken in the legal brief is somewhat unusual for the Justice Department. Though the filing was submitted to U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon, at times it sounded like an opening argument to a jury Trump could face in the future, or the first chapter of a report meant to detail investigative findings to the public. The filing included some new details about the origins of the probe, particularly as Trump's liaisons to the National Archives began a dialogue with key White House officials about how to facilitate the return of missing documents. Though Trump has long portrayed the Biden White House's involvement in the process as a sign of sinister politics, Smith's team described it as limited, necessary, and well known to Trump's aides who did not protest. That was a running theme throughout the prosecutor's filing. where Trump spoke in ominous terms about a monolithic Biden administration acting against him, the reality was that career officials from multiple agencies acting on their discrete responsibilities took standard and even innocuous actions to fulfill their duties, according to the brief. And friends, now let's turn to Jack Smith's new court filing. And I will say, for a legal pleading, kind of sings. It's captioned, United States of America versus Donald Trump, Waltine Nauta, and Carlos de Oliveira. And here is just some of the opening salvo of Jack Smith's court filing. Defendants, that would be Trump, Nauta, and de Oliveira, defendants' motion seeks non-discoverable materials based on speculative, unsupported, and false theories of political bias and animus. Many of the requests are so generalized that it's difficult to decipher what they seek. Others reflect pure conjecture, detached from the facts surrounding this prosecution. For still others, the government has already furnished the defendants with what they seek to the extent that the law requires. The government will explain below why the defendants' showings fall short of applicable legal requirements. But before turning to those arguments, it's necessary to set the record straight on the underlying facts that led to this prosecution, because the defendant's motion paints an inaccurate and distorted picture of events. The government will clear the air on those issues, not because the court needs to resolve factual disputes before denying the motion. It need not resolve the facts, but because the defendant's misstatements, if unanswered, leave a highly misleading impression on a number of matters. After that discussion, the government will turn to the underlying legal principles and their application to defendants' requests, all of which should be denied. The defendants rely on a pervasively false narrative of the investigation's origins. Their apparent aim is to cast a cloud of suspicion over reasonable actions by government officials diligently doing their jobs. The defendants' insinuations have scant factual or legal relevance to their discovery requests, but they should not stand uncorrected. Put simply, the government here confronted an extraordinary situation. A former president engaging in calculated and persistent obstruction of the collection of presidential records, which, as a matter of law, belong to the United States for the benefit of history and posterity, and as a matter of fact, here included a trove of highly classified documents containing some of the nation's most sensitive information. The law required that those documents be collected, and the record establishes that the relevant government officials performed their tasks with professionalism and patience in the face of unprecedented defiance. Unprecedented defiance by a former president of the United States. In the face of government official after government official, government agency after government agency, seeking the return of classified documents that did not belong to Donald Trump. Seeking the return of classified information that Donald Trump stole and was unlawfully retaining at Mar-a-Lago. And friends, what kind of danger did Donald Trump pose to our national security in the time he was, storing this classified information in bathrooms and ballrooms? I want to turn back to one more short piece of reporting from the Politico article. Jack Smith's brief is also peppered with factual claims that make Trump's behavior sound more serious and egregious. When discussing the defense's request for more information from the Secret Service, prosecutors assert that their interaction with the Secret Service, the federal agency that guards the president and his family, underscored Trump's recklessness in keeping a large volume of classified information at his Florida home, which also serves as a social club and a site for political and social events with lengthy guest lists. The Secret Service reported that of the approximately 48,000 guests who visited Mar-a-Lago between January 2021 and May 2022, while classified documents were at the property, only 2,200 of the 48,000 guests even had their names checked, and only 2,900 of the 48,000 guests passed through magnetometers, metal detectors, Jack Smith's filing says. So friends, what does that tell you about our national security? Mar-a-Lago was a damn sieve for classified information, potentially, ripe for the taking by more than 40,000 individuals whose names were not even taken, not even written down, not even recorded by the Secret Service. Keep punching, Jack, because our democracy depends on it. And because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.